Welcome back to the 100 Horror Films in 31 days, and it's day 26. And I got in 3 films, inching my way to 100. I should make 100 films by Friday, end of the day Friday. I'm very close. Um, First film I watched was X, which is a 2022 Ty West film. Ty West for me is kind of a mixed bag. I think most people have similar feelings about him. I liked House of the Devil. I wasn't too big a fan of Innkeepers. And then Sacrament, I know a lot of people like that, but honestly, uh, the Jim Jones story, there was a much better film made in 1970 about that. Um, yeah, and when I watched The Sacrament, I just felt like, having seen the film from the 70s, I just, it was like a rehash to me. So I guess I just didn't have the same, I came from a different generation. Most people probably don't even know the film I'm talking about, with the 70s Jim Jones film. But be that as it may, I did like X a whole lot. X is about a group of college kids, I guess, that are wanting to make a porn movie and get rich or become famous, and they rent out this little cabin on a farm in Texas to shoot the film. It's owned by these 2 old people, and one of the problems with this film is the makeup for the old people. I don't know why they just don't get old people to play the role, but they made up younger people to be old people, and it kind of works, kind of doesn't in certain parts. Uh, but I like the film, and I really like the lead that played it, uh, Mia Goth. I think that's her name. Yeah, she also plays in the this. This is apparently going to be a trilogy of films. Pearl is a prequel, I think, which I need to watch, and then I think there's another one coming out called Maggie. But I'm definitely giving this one a thumbs up. Uh, Not perfect film, but really gives you a great '70s feel and transports you back to the '70s. And it really gave off a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. And it did it very, very effectively. Gory, nasty film. I give it a 7 out of 10. I probably will give a higher rating after rewatch. I need to watch Pearl and then revisit it, I think. All right. Next up is I'm back with The Blind Dead, the final film here of the Blind Dead collection from Blue Underground, and that is the Night of the Seagulls. 1975. This is the 4th film. This time we're off the ship and we're back to kind of a beachfront setting where some people are attacked by the Knights Templar. Really, this is the story. I mean, it's kind of getting. By the time I got into this one, I'm like, no, this is kind of wearing thin. It still looks as good as the other films. It's just as atmospheric as the other films. It toned down the gore, I think, quotient a little bit. To me, the second film kind of is the ups the gore quotient the most. The only kind of curveball that this storyline brought that the other 3 didn't have was that the Knights Templars take out the heart of their victims, and somehow their soul is occupied within these seagulls that are floating around. I don't know. By this time, I'm just kind of blind dead out. I didn't hate it, but I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's just it feels like I just it feels like I've seen it before. It hasn't brought anything new to the table for a 4th film. So I give it a 6 out of 10. Didn't didn't hate it, but didn't love it either. And then finally, we've got Echo Horror, Ants, 1977. This is a TV movie, and I'll tell you, I mean, of course, I grew up. I was uh, teenager, a young. I guess in '77 I was 12, so I grew up with all these movies: Food of the Gods, Grizzly, Jaws. They were just endless. I mean, the popularity of Jaws created so many of these copycat spin-off echo horror films. Animals Run Amok. Ironically enough, I've never seen Ants, and it was made for TV. I can't explain how I missed this one. This is a surprisingly effective TV movie, and particularly the last act. I mean, you think about it. It's ants, and they look like sugar ants. Sometimes they look like sugar ants. Sometimes they look like more menacing type ants. But I think they really were effective in terms of making it look chaotic towards the end. Linda Day George is in this, and she's very good. Um, and also, you've got Robert Foxworth. He's in so many TV movies. It's crazy. And then Suzanne Summers appears in this. A very appealing looking Suzanne Summers is in this. This has an audio commentary track. Actually, it's got one audio commentary track, an interview with some actors in this that are still alive, production assistants. So yeah, this is a nice release from Kino. Really glad I picked this up. I picked it up for like $9, I think. Not a whole lot. But I give it a 7 out of 10. I thought Ants was a really good echo horror film. All right. Well, if you've seen any of those films or have any comments, leave them in the box below. Appreciate you watching.